Let's watch Democrats go from confident to devastated about the 2024 election.
I think it's going to be a blowout, actually. I don't think it's going to be a close race. I think there are going to be those Republicans that just vote for Harris.
We're tied on election
Sonny Hostin has given so much content post-election to people.
day. As always, the polls will be tied, and then he'll lose.
You call us trash? Oh, J.D. Vance, you just stepped up in a way that I've never seen in my political life, and I worked for Sarah Palin.
Then I would say
That's one of the fake Republicans that works at MSNBC who just agrees with Democrats. Essentially, it seems like 100% of the time, but they go on there and say, I'm a Republican.
take Harris over 270 electoral votes. Let these fools in these crypto markets do something. Let them drive the betting line into a favorable place and then take advantage of it. That's what I would do.
I wonder if James Carville, who sometimes has reasonable takes, I covered one recently on the channel of him basically upset about Gen Z people having too much influence in the Kamala campaign. I wonder if he actually believes what he's saying right here, that Kamala was going to win. I'm not so sure.
I think she's going to win.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Month you wrote Trump is toast. Do you stand behind that today?
Oh, even more so.
He was, Michael Moore was way more accurate in 2016. Remember in 2016, he was calling Trump to win when almost nobody was. He seems to have lost his way this time. I mean, we all get things wrong, but
We need to really take a step back and think about what does that say about us?
People who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare.
I'd like to know what that says.
remember Van Jones in 2016 called the election when Trump won a white lash? Still, but Van Jones usually has bad takes. Sometimes he's reasonable, normally bad takes.
About us as a country.
I'm mystified in some ways. Who are we as a country?
Oh, this is so cringe. These people, they're just so shocked. I'm mystified. I'm insert adjective here to mean shocked.
We're starting to find out. And from what I'm seeing right now, I'm not sure I like it.
Nancy Pelosi using the word heartbreaking in her conversation with Lulu. Carville talking about a dark tunnel. Blame is starting.
Yep.
And there needs to be discussion among Democrats. So,
Well, look, we spent $1 billion and elected Donald Trump. That's not a blame game. That's called
Over $1 billion, and the campaign was over at least around 20 million in debt. Over 1B.
accountability.
Tres comas.
And the people at the top of the campaign, the top of the party, have a lot of people pissed off at him because there were people who had suggestions. There were people who were saying, why are we doing this? Why this? It was like, hey, we've got it. We've got this special magical computer formulation. We've tested every ad. Shut up and sit down and go back to work. And so people said, okay, well, I guess you're right. And then we got clobbered, clocked, knocked down, beat up, drugged down. And so people are mad, and they should be mad. And the people at the top are going to have to listen. There is a grassroots rebellion happening in this party, and it's coming to knock on the door of the people who are in charge of the party. That's not blame game. That's accountability.
accountability.
But Kari Sellers said over and over
So Van Jones sound pretty reasonable there, actually.
again, it's either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump or the couch. And Bakari was always worried about the couch. People just not feeling inspired enough to go out and vote. He wasn't worried that people were going to not vote for Kamala and go vote for Trump. He was afraid they weren't going to vote at all. And here's how we got beat. We got beat because the Republicans and conservatives built a different media system that had to do with online, had to do with podcasts, had to do with streaming platforms, and they were spending their money there. We were laughing at them and knocking on doors in Philadelphia and Detroit. It's like, there's no Trump people. They're not dropping literature. They're not knocking on doors.
Well, in fact, it was laughing like, oh, Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
their PACs don't know what they're doing.
We
They're
were
blowing.
making fun of Donald Trump for having thrown away his ground game and doing some weird stuff online. We thought that they were idiots. It turned out we were the idiots. We woke up in a body bag because while we were knocking on...
I've actually made this mistake in the past as well with like thinking that brochures are going to actually work compared to online marketing. But that was like, I think that was around 10 years ago now. It's incredible the Democrats thought knocking on doors, here's a pamphlet, is going to work when Trump goes on all these different podcasts, JD Vance, and then they get clipped a bunch on TikTok, Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. People are just constantly seeing funny clips of Trump with Aiden Ross, the Nelk Boys, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, especially towards the end. That Joe Rogan podcast towards the end, I think, was massive for Trump.
Doors, they were making these phones into 24-hour-a-day political weapons for themselves. And so we got outflanked, outplayed, outbeat by people who told us the whole time that they knew what they were doing. And people are mad. And
see, this is where Van Jones is actually like sensible when he's saying, oh, it's a white lash, or when he went at Vivek Ramaswamy and called Vivek a despicable person, essentially because he has like a good tongue and he's a good, like a sharp tongue. He's like an effective communicator. Van Jones is, oh, he's an American demagogue, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes Van Jones does make sense.
And Future Forward, all these different groups that vacuumed up all this money and told everybody to sit down and shut up are going to be in for an accountability session from the grassroots, and it is coming.
Okay, and we'll finish this video off. Remember Sunny Hostin of The View, how confident she was towards the beginning of the video? Let's see how she was post-election.
Well, I want to dig further into the demographics because black women tried to save this country again last night. 92% of black women voted for the vice president.
Tried to save the country.
You have Latinas in the 70 percentile voting for the vice president. What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men.
Those dumb white women, Latino men,
actually voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
So why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their...
She's leaning into that. Uneducated white women.
Reproductive health freedoms. And why do you think Latino men voted in favor...
Do Hispanic people find this insanely cringe? I mean, let me know in the comments if you are Hispanic, Latino. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the person that's out of the loop. I don't know.
Of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community.
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
We have to look at the demographics of it.
So that woman there that corrected Sunny, I believe her name is Alyssa. She used to work with the first Trump administration, sounding reasonable there, although every time I heard her on The View prior to the election, she sounded pretty TDS. But anyway, with that said, I'll finish the video. Fun little video there. People being confident and then people being not so happy following the election. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have a great day.